Exhibit A. So, skill testing the question for the girl at the gas station. And you get 3 items today. Guess what they're going to be? She's like, Pepsi, meat stick, and a chocolate bar. And I'm like, you guessed right. She must have ESP or something. Not her fact that I buy the same thing every morning. Alright. What kind of day it's going to be, but got my raincoat. My rain pants are pretty much shot. They're donezo. Oh, look at his flower beds. What has he got growing out? Tomatoes or something? Those raised beds though that come off the ground, like your plant will grow, but you don't get like there's only that much topsoil. Like even with a lot of fertilizer, which you really don't want fertilizer in your garden if you can help it. Compost, yes. Fertilizer, well, whatever you put into the, whatever you put into, you put fertilizer into the soil, well, the plant absorbs that, and so do you, right? So the best is, if you want to stay organic, is to have all organic, like compost, manure and compost. Like that's the 2 best things. It's really good topsoil. Yeah. So I had a quick look at my garden last night. I got to weed it a bit more there, but just gotta watch I don't step on. Gotta watch where I step. But I noticed my beans are already like really rooting in. You can tell that they've grown about an extra couple of inches there. It's been so cold that it's kind of good weather for a garden to start, like when you're starting planting when it's cool like this, because then it gives the plants a chance to climatize without it being too hot, and then you get something, rather than it just all dies on you. A little job to do tomorrow here after I get back from the license bureau. Oh, big branch there. So I gotta weed this big flower bed tomorrow. Oh, they're up. There we go. They finally came up. I better tell them about their pine tree. Don't park too close to your pine tree. You lose your windshield. Still can't believe that. Pine cone. Freaking pine cone. No, I'm not going to get over it. Like, when life kicks you down, that's one thing. But just to add insult to injury by taking out your windshield with a freaking pine cone while your car's parked. You're damn right I'm going to bitch about that. If there was anything bitch worthy, there you go. What's your grievance in life? Pine cones. So today, see how much I get done here. If I have to stay a little later, I will. And then if I get the other grass cut, at least if I can get one more grass cut today, I'll be happy with that. I've got 2 more deck boards to remove, and then I can stain the deck. Not today, but to like ease back on putting away for that. You know what I mean? And then you can start to have a little bit of disposable income for yourself, which is something I haven't had in a long time. Now, mind you, what I mean by disposable income, okay, so yeah, but Reg, you bought a drum kit in February, and you've been past 2 years. My 8-string, I've now had it 2 years this month. I got to change the strings on it big time. I broke the E string on it, so I'm going to have to change that. I do have a set of strings. I don't know how they're going to fare out, but I don't think they're going to be a heavy enough gauge. But I do have them. In fact, I got to change the strings on every guitar I have. Which that's a day. Like, that'll take me a day to do that. Like, it's a lot of guitars. Even if I just cut the strings off and start putting them all back on. You know, because I clean the guitars really good once I take the strings off. You know, like I oil up the fretboards. I do all that. And some of them I haven't, since I bought them, I haven't even oiled the fretboards yet. Been playing my Mark Holcomb guitars like crazy. I was watching an interview with him and Ola Englund. If you don't know who Ola Englund is, this Swedish guy who's he's the I don't know what you call, like, the CEO, you know, big guru of solar guitars. And I'd like to try one. You know, like I'd like to try one, but they're Swedish, right? So they're not really, they're kind of like Dean but smaller. Where they're big enough you know of them, but you rarely see a Dean. And the Solar's kind of like same thing. I don't know how many guitars he sells a year. I hope, well, he must be doing pretty good. He's got some really cool flying V's, that's for sure. And I do kind of like that more stripped down basic look guitar, but also I like extremes where the guitar is like either super glitzy or just super plain. You know, like just no in between, right? But most of my guitars are just like all in between. I don't know, I have some pretty extravagant guitars when you think about it. Isolation headphones is definitely on the like I was talking in the last video for like doing my drum mixes and stuff like that. I definitely have to get the isolation headphones. Now, I'm not just going to get the cheapest pair. I'm one of those guys that's like, I'm going to have this stuff for years, you know. And when you buy something cheap and it's like it's good enough and it lasts for years, that's great. But then you're stuck with the cheap thing for years and years and years, and it's not exactly what you want or what you need. You know what I mean? But it's good enough that you can't justify going out and buying something else and have it sit there being wasted, right? So I'm just going to cut to the chase and just buy the, you know, the good isolation headphones, because that makes more sense to me. Because if I have really good isolation headphones, it makes recording a lot easier, and you know, like, you're going to get better sound quality. You know, I know they say you shouldn't mix on headphones and stuff like that, and I get that, but that's coming from people who have studio space, right? Now, somebody had suggested, Reg, you know, go and you know, like make an isolation room for the drums out in the garage or something like that. No. Instruments, I know there's people that they put their pianos out in the barn, they put their drums out in the barn, and you got something that expensive sitting out, like, you know, like a barn's not heated, right? You'll destroy the instrument. Yes, you could travel around with